This is Peter Bolano. I thought I would do a walkthrough, kind of a behind the scenes of how I prepped for this tune, House of the Lord by Phil Wickham. I hope you, if you're playing, I hope your MD's hooking you up with the rehearsal mix, because this is really handy to have. So we did House of the Lord in the key of D. It's 86 beats per minute. And he did send me these 3 parts in Planning Center. So that's another way that you can get access to these tracks. So I hope you're hearing original tracks, because it helps you hear what's going on underneath. Within a mix, you can kind of tell, but it's helpful to hear what's going on. So obviously there's 3 tracks here to choose from. My MD is the piano player. He's super tasteful, super talented, great guy to play with. He gets out of the way a lot of times. He'll get out of the way when he's supposed to. He's really great. Great to work with. So that left the organ or the keys 1 part for me, or both. So I listened to the organ. It's very organ-y, very B3, kind of felt slight on the rock blues side, whereas the keys 1 really moved things more modern to EDM side. So kind of Bethel or Hillsong. So listening to the set, the second and third songs were both kind of blues gospel, and it was the B3 was the only track that I was going to play. So I thought, why not keep it simple and just cover organ for the first 3 songs. And so I hit my MD up and I'm like, hey, I'm going to be I'm planning to cover the organ on this, unless you have other thoughts. Keys 1, it's definitely something we could do at any point in the future. If you wanted to, we could really go in on a more EDM song. So he's already told me, his guidance to me is, when we do a song the first couple times, we want to try to stick to the way it's heard on the radio maybe. And then after that, we'll want to sort of veer around and explore and see, maybe other things that work. So this is the first time me covering this song. I'm like, okay, well, in the main mix, I hear organ more than I hear keys 1, and song 2 and song 3 are already organ, so let's keep it simple and go with organ. He came back to me with, why don't you think about keys 1, since song 2 and song 3 are already going to be B3, organ, blues, gospel. Okay, so different take. He wanted keys 1. He wanted more EDM on the opening songs. So, hey, I pivoted, started thinking about keys 1, started working my way through it. So let me just play a couple things real quick. First off, it starts out with kind of that vocal sample riff. So I'm kind of doing this kind of a thing instead. A synth. Like that, because I don't want to play a vocal part. Maybe they did play the vocal effects in the house. I'm not quite sure. And then halfway through the intro, it goes into this pulsing backbeat. Okay, and so for that, I have another sound set up for the intro. 2 sounds set up for the intro, which is. So I've got that same backbeat. This is all, by the way, stock Intuitive Keys sounds. It's that same synth, along with this backbeat pulsar thing, Legacy pulsar. So that's the chorus, and then coming out of that, there's just the piano. So I want to be out for that, and then it kind of builds, but it has kind of this arping thing, and it's really kind of bright and sounds like bowed glass, but like sharp glass. It seemed like the quickest way to get turned down in the house mix would be to try to do something like that. So I took the idea and I went my own way with it. So let me show you that. So here's the breakdown. I have a dead patch for the breakdown, and then So just nice simple ARP from, I used one originally, used my Tron ARP from Intuitive Keys, but then I went, this is going to be in an expansion pack. This is Harmonics of the Prophet from Omnisphere. So I went with that, has the same kind of idea. And then, of course, the chorus is kind of all in again. So I do that again, and then more of that, and then coming out, it is so just kind of a pad, a little bit of a padding, and then here, so another build going into the chorus. So that's the chorus, and then it actually, really, you're the only thing here for the second part through. It's only the pad, so you got to be there. And then we're into the chorus again. So that's the chorus. And then coming out of the chorus. And then more of that, sharp things. So I want to do my sort of nicer ARP. And then the ARP kind of builds. And it builds into a drum breakdown right here. And then builds out of the drum breakdown. And then there's another chorus. And then there's an instrumental on the chorus. And so for the instrumental, I'll just kind of forward to that. Well, here's my build. So that's some of the Pulsar and my Tron ARP that I love. And then that's the chorus, right? And then the instrumental, I run with it a little bit. I add like a sidechain synth. So for rehearsal, I use the Intuitive Keys one, but for Sunday, I decided to sub in the Omnisphere one, which is a little bit brighter. And then coming out, there's a little vocal riff coming out right here. Let's see, right there. So I just kind of play along with that with a vocal organ. All right, so that's my prep. And the big takeaway with the prep that I want you to see is I create a scene for every section. And the idea is, if you've ever, been a vocalist, being a worship leader, being a backup vocalist, you need the most important syllable is the first syllable of the first word of every phrase. That's the one that you can't kind of like fudge and kind of, slide into. You got to nail it because you're leading and everyone's there. And if you want to sound like the song knows where it's going as keyboardists, that's what we have to do too. So I am very there. I do repeat sounds. Everything's an alias here. So, sounds that I use here, I use it here too. So there is some consistency, some ABC kind of patterning thing that's going on. But I'm always bringing one or two things in or out, probably for every section. So awesome. Let's go over to keys 1. I'm going to hit minus mix. This will give me everything but the part that I'm going to play. And let's go live and see what happens here.
3, 4. Intro. All in. Verse 2, drums in.
Good morning. Welcome. I'm going to invite you to stand with us. Psalm 122 verse 1 says, I rejoiced when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. And so we're so glad to be worshiping with you this morning and invite you now to worship our King.